What's up, everybody? Welcome to Vancity Beats,
Eats,
and
more.
Good job, Rita. Oh my gosh. If this is your first time tuning in, I am your host, Kazi. I'm joined on the show today by the one and only DJ Rita Spirit. We are broadcasting live right now from the unceded ancestral lands of the Musqueam, the Tsleil-Waututh, the Squamish First Nations, who've been here since time immemorial. You might know this colonially as Vancouver, BC, but we, as the artists and creatives who make the heartbeat and pulse of this city, we like to call it Vancity. Yes, and so on this show, we love to interview creatives, artists, people who really make up the arts and cultural landscape. And Rita is a new transplant who's been here quite a few times, but has officially made the move over here, which I'm very excited about. Because low-key, girl, I have not told you this, but you are like one of my new favorite people to bring out to the parties and to check out the scene here. For two reasons. Because A, you are also a fellow street dancer, except, you know, obviously you're hardcore and competitive and you're really good. And that you're also an incredible DJ for the parties, for the battles. And so to go out to places where somebody has the understanding of A, like feeling comfortable to get down on the dance floor, but B, understanding what the DJ is doing in the space. Like those are two things that I definitely pay attention to when I go out. So yeah, thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for inviting.
Yeah, how you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah.
Had a nice chill morning. Now I'm here.
Amazing. Yeah, on this episode today, I really want to talk to you more about your DJing and dance journey and how you got to where you are today. There are a lot of things that you have been posting, especially online on your social media, just educating the next generation of DJs that are coming up. And I also want to talk about what are you excited about here in this city now that you've moved here. So yeah, if we could start from the beginning with you and, you know, how you grew up. You're originally from Ukraine. I would love to know, you know, how did your childhood and upbringing influence your creative pursuits in music and street dance?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm DJ Rita Spirit. My name is Rita, and I'm originally from Ukraine. I've started as a dancer, or it's a hard question because like I start to collect music since I was kid. When I was kid, I was often sick, so I did not have like good immunity. So I had a lot of time at home by myself, and my mom was working all the time. So I started to collect records and just like listen to records, write some rhymes.
What? Oh my God, yes! In Ukrainian?
Yeah, like I was kind of learning English, so I kind of wrote something that sounded similar.
Yeah.
I don't know, in my own language. Yeah, and then I started to collect the records, the cassettes. It was like the era of cassettes, and
Yes.
I bought like my mom bought me Magnetola.
Oh,
Yeah,
like,
so-
was that like a ghetto blaster or
Yeah.
what? Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
So we went like with my mom to market. That's where like we were buying like cassettes in Ukraine, and yeah. So I was always like listening to music.
Do you
I
remember
like-
your first hip hop cassette or music artist cassette you bought?
Yeah. I at that point like I was also listening a lot of classical music as well. So and I still think that like yeah, like classical music is a big thing. Like it's very impressive for me to go to like a live concert and see how the music is like actually like people play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in a big symphony.
In the big symphony.
Yeah.
So my mom always brought me to like that type of event.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And like hip hop, I bought like some Missy Elliott.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
that was I think like one of my
First
first,
ones.
yeah.
Mine was Blackstreet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, No Diggity. Like that
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
oh, so good. That's amazing. And then, did you ever learn any instruments or play instruments?
No, unfortunately, no. I wanted to learn like piano, but yeah, I never like really had a chance to learn instruments. Yeah, and then like I was, just like going to some. I started as a dance to dance ballroom dance.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Like
my
what?
mom-
The waltz?
yeah, like the like the waltz, the cha-cha-cha, and but it was my mom who brought me there. I did not like, I was not that type of kid who will be like in the ballroom. I was more like active, more I don't know, I had like faster BPM, you know. And I did not like it actually, like I made everything so my teacher like will kick me out and I succeed.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and then I went to my friend. She brought me to some like hip hop class.
Yeah.
But it was like choreography, so I did not like really thought that dance is for me. But then I found out like I found some classes with the hip hop freestyle in my city, and and that's like how I started. Then I moved like to another city where the scene is bigger.
Where was this?
So I born in Dnipro and I moved to Kharkov. It's more on the east side of Ukraine. So at that time it was like Ukrainian capital of hip hop. Like all the dope dancers were there. The best like big battles were there.
Cool.
And
How old were you at the time when you started dancing?
I think 17, 16.
Okay, teenager years.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then from there, where did you go?
And then from there, I moved to the city, and then I moved to China. I was studying at university in the city, and then I finished university, did not go to masters, even though everyone expect me to go to masters. But I moved to China. So for like 4 years, almost 4 years. Yeah.
That's a big cultural leap to go from Europe to China.
Yeah.
What made you make that decision?
So like I always wanted to travel since I was like child. It was not as easy like to be in Ukraine and travel at that time. So when I was like 18, I like did my like foreign passport, we say. So it was like my first thing on the birthday. I went and applied for it, and then like I always like traveled in university in between the semesters. So I went like to work like in Turkey, in US, in Egypt, and Greece.
Cool.
For like 3 months.
At a time in each of these places?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 3-4 months. So we had like a semester break. Yeah, so I was working like in the hotel or just like for the sake of traveling. Yeah, like as a reception, as a guest relation. Like, I was like 18 or something.
And during this time, would you say that, street dance or hip hop and music was still part of your life as you were doing the travels?
Yeah, I think like in university age was like a little less because I was like very pressured by society in Ukraine and also by my parents that like you can't kind of succeed as an artist, like it's like a black hole kind of. Then I was like very pressured on this, and I think like society like put on me so much like this stereotype that like being an artist, like you can't like really make it, like, and it's like very hard, like you need like to do almost like I don't know crazy things to but then like but it was still like music was like still like I was listening all the time to music, I was collecting music all the time. And then around 20s I moved to China, finished like uni, I moved to China, I bought my equipment, and I think like there like I found like my liberation, where I was like, okay, I just like gonna commit to that because like that's the thing that makes me happy. Because
What were you studying again? You told me this before.
First I was studying social and political science in university. Which was great. Like it helped me a lot in my life and just like understanding like life and developing critical thinking. But it was not like, I always knew it's not my thing. I was good at it because I think like I have like strong discipline, very disciplined person, but
I feel like a lot of Ukrainians I know have that. It's a serious quality of like dedication.
I think it's formed like, because every hour quality formed by the lifestyle we live in. And in Ukraine it's like it's hard. It's not easy to live in Ukraine because society just works this way that you need like to be on point, like you need to be disciplined, you need to be dedicated, like if you want to progress in something you're doing. Yeah. And I think like it's a good quality. It helped me a lot in life. Yeah, but it was never satisfying. So like when I got to master degree, I won like Erasmus. It's like scholarship to study in Scotland for masters, and then I did not go. I was like, okay, I'm going to China. My mom was like, what?
But what made you choose China?
So I wanted to go to England, but like I could not get visa at the time. I was rejected. And then I opened internet and I found a job as a dance teacher in China. And indeed, I was like, okay, I guess China is good. And then I applied, I passed the interview, and they're like, yeah, next month you should go. Like I was like, okay. And then like my contract was originally for 1 year, and I ended up staying like 4 years. Like it was like on and off. I came, I stayed there for 1 year. I went to India, and then I went to Ukraine, organized my event, came back to China, came to Europe, travel, come back to China, stayed like 2 years. Yeah. And I would stay more, but then I met like one guy, Shingo from Japan.
Shout outs to the Mr. International.
Yes, Czech Shingo.
With the flute.
With the flute. Yeah. So Shingo is like old school b-boy, and he also does hustle. He does everything, I think now. So he came to China to the gig I was playing in the club, and then he told me, after the gig we hung out a little, he came with my friend, and he told me about like this school in Sweden where it's like Hogwarts for hip-hop dance.
So sick.
Yeah.
It's called O School.
It's called OSA.
OSA.
OSA Folkhögskola.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I came to this, I applied for this school, and it was like in October. I already forgot that I applied, and then like in April they reached me out, and I was like, okay, because normally you need to go to audition in the school. You need like to do interview, dance, do physical, like when you run, do push-ups and stuff like that. Yeah.
Serious training.
Serious training.
Yeah.
But then like they reached me, I sent them videos. I was like, I'm not coming to auditions, I'm like in China, like if I don't pass it would really be not so cool.
Yeah.
And so they reached to me, and then they're like, yeah, we want to have an interview with you next week. I was like, oh, okay. I already forgot like about the school. Everything was working in China. I was like, eventually I was just freelancing last 2 years. I was like, more into playing battles, working in the club. I did like some like modeling for clothes. Yeah, and then they reached me out. I was like, why am I leaving to Sweden? I don't know. But then I left, and it was great because Corona hit China in half a year. I was like, I'm blessed.
Yeah, for real.
It was
perfect timing.
Perfect timing, because Sweden also did not got like restrictions. Not so big restrictions as in China. So I was like, okay. Yeah, and then like my journey in Europe started. So I was living in Sweden after China for like 3 years.
How would you say your street dance arts practice evolved from then to then going to that school?
Oh, it evolved a lot. Like it was totally different me. I think raising up in Ukraine, I was like very focused. Like we just saw like battle, just this side of the culture, and being so far like from US, like also we had like a lot of misinterpretations of the culture, because like we could not have access to the like real information. So we got like some videos from YouTube, and then like we interpreted it in our way, in Ukrainian way, which was cool. I think like it brought a lot of originality in Ukraine.
How would you describe that, like the interpretation?
For instance, like in breaking, so we had instead of like breaking battles, we had R&B battles.
Oh,
it was not about the music like R&B. It was just like R&B battle because we did not even know like what is R&B. Like
Yeah.
it was like we heard this word R&B, and then we organized these battles.
I mean, R&B in general is also confusing to a lot of people because it's like, what era are you talking about? You know, some people would argue it's like really old school soul music, you know, so, or then like 2010s R&B, it's like Mario and Nia, like, you know, so it depends on who you ask, what is R&B, but that's interesting, like the breaking battles in R&B.
Yeah, I was like, why? Yeah, and then like, I don't know, in like poppers, like were called kind of like upper breaking. That's how like the poppers were called. So in like every breaking crew, they had like one popper. And that was like dancing upper breaking. And that was like popping.
Like the upper half is this is amazing. Okay.
Yeah, like and a lot of funny stuff. Like it's like endless. Yeah. Like no, like our breakers, like when you look, like no warm up, like now everyone has like a coach and like a routine, mobility routine before. But our breakers straight, like from the cold weather in Ukraine, come to studio straight on the head, and then like injuries and stuff like that.
No. But that's before, like things have evolved now. Yes.
Yeah. Now it's
Does anyone call it upper breaking anymore?
No, luckily not.
Luckily not.
But that's like kind of like how I raised up, like that. I thought like popping is like actually upper breaking.
That is so funny. Would you say that things shifted when, I guess, travel became more accessible and then dancers from like, you know, the US and New York could come?
Yeah. No, of course, like now, like Ukraine is like on so high level in breaking. And and you have like a lot of like hip hop and house dancers, and like things change. Of course, like we travel now a lot, represent Ukraine, have access to information, but at that point, like no one really knew what they're doing. But I think like the history of the country, like very connected to hip hop, why we got like so connected, because like it's about resiliency, right? Like, and the history of the country is like resiliency, right? Like we are, I think as a nation, very resilient. It's not easy to live in Ukraine, so people also go to arts to for many reasons, like to express this energy. So I think that's why like we are so strongly connected to hip-hop culture.
That's dope. I mean, I think that's also a big reason why so many people fall in love with hip-hop, is like the heart and soul of it is that act of resistance and resilience against like oppression or difficult challenges, especially in society, culture, and that's how the best art gets made, right? I'm curious to know, you know, like for you, especially how you describe that was your early access to the culture. Do you remember the first moment you really saw the magic of like the DJ and the atmosphere and the music and the power of hip hop essentially?
Yeah, I remember. I think it was like when I was like 14, I started to party. I went like to all sorts of parties, like to like drum and bass party, to like rock party. And I remember sitting in this club. It was, I think, Halloween. It was in some abandoned building, and there was a drum and bass party. And in Ukraine, you don't go like till 2 a.m. You go till 6 a.m. because then subways start to work, and then everyone goes back.
That is efficient. That is efficient.
Because like no one got money for taxi, you know, so you go like for whole night, and then at 6 like club is empty. Everyone go to subway. So I was like sitting like around 4. I was like already like so tired of like moving, and then I sit like, and it's like this like light, like blue, foggy, and I watched like DJ. I was just like always like to sit and like and watch like DJ, and like I always thought it's like magical what's happening on the dance floor, what DJ brings. I like to observe people. I think that was like my favorite part of the party. I just like stay and observe and
people watch.
Yeah, people watch like how the connection happening between DJ, and the floor and dance floor, how people react, what's the flow. Like even though at that point like I did not understood like really what DJ is doing, but like I just like to observe like what's the connection, like what music brings. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so I think it was like from this moment, and I always wanted to start, but I did not had like enough money to buy equipment because like DJing is expensive. Yeah, you need like your equipment. You need
especially
laptop.
back then. Now it's cheaper. Back then it was
expensive.
Yeah.
And being in Ukraine, where like you buy a controller and it's like salary for whole month. So, or like even more. So like it's really not affordable. But then like I saved money, I bought like my own equipment. I thought like I'm gonna just DJ for the battle, and then it started to grow. Like I was DJing in the bar, in some like car shows.
Was this now in China? Like when you first started DJing?
No,
when?
I started in Ukraine.
Okay. Yeah. And you were how old at the time?
Like 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then from there?
And then, from there it just like evolved. It like keep building. I thought like I'll just spin for the battles. I was like, no, I'm just gonna spin for the battle. I'm not like really interested in nothing else. I started with the G-Funk. Even though that like I was not dancing popping at that time, but like G-Funk was like my thing.
Yeah.
And
the music is so good. It's so deep.
Yeah. It's so like strong. Yeah. It has like very...
You're just stanky face. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I love about G-Funk too.
Yeah. And then, it just like evolved. And then, I moved to China. There, my journey like expanded a lot for the battles, for the other events. I started to teach a little DJing in China, and then I continue in Sweden. So I had like my DJ course for dancers, and there were some musicians as well. A lot of them are still DJing, which I'm really proud of. Yeah.
So how many years would you say now that you've been DJing?
10, 11.
Yeah, that's amazing, Rita. I mean, I knew that you've been a DJ for a while, but like, I didn't realize you started when you were 20. That's incredible. Yeah, I was actually... I listened to your interview with Tin Man and with DJ May.
Yeah, Maisie.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Yes, big shout outs. Actually, Tin Man is big bro, and he's been here to Vancouver multiple times. I went to his wedding in California a couple of years ago, and actually I was texting him right after I watched that episode. I was like telling him like, yo, I'm going to interview Rita on my live stream show tomorrow, and he was stoked, and I was really, like, I love that conversation. For all y'all, check it out, Tin Man LBC on YouTube. And a big shout outs to Ice Misto, Sandra, tuning in on the live stream right now. I love that in-depth conversation, talking to other DJs who specifically are also dancers, and that's a very unique perspective, you know, because DJing for battles is totally different from DJing for parties. And something you said in that interview was that the role of the DJ, you really believe, is the bridge and the connector between the music, the artistry of the music, and the audience, the people who are on the dance floor, or the people who are about to battle. You know, and I would love, you know, I love that you talked about like at 14 partying, that you noticed this and you saw this right away. Like, is that, how would you say, is that what, sorry, I can't speak, I'm like drank too much coffee, but would you say like,
me every day.
I'm curious to know for you, like the inspiration for you to like really dive into doing this, and now like as a dancer being the person to provide the music to the people.
I don't know, I feel like inspiration was always there. It's like I think like since 15 I wanted to be a DJ. I just did not had money to buy equipment. I was collecting my music. I was very like inspired by music. I was listening to music, like and it was like music is like always my place to recharge. And I think the real I know inspiration was just like when I bought equipment, like I started to practice with my friend. I had like several people who helped me. One of them is DJ Flow. He's a house and hip hop dancer and popping dancer. I think he danced like everything from my city, from Kharkov, and he was producing music as well and DJing. So he kind of like helped me with that a lot. Also DJ South Scream, he's a breaker and b-boy and producer. He has his DJ school. He organizes major events in Yalta. Yeah, and another guy, Plast HBTC from Kharkov, he's also b-boy. So he helped me like more in China, like to learn like more on mixing on the vinyl, on the real vinyl. Yeah, so yeah, it just like started very naturally. I knew from the first day, it's my thing. I'm not gonna leave it. Like, it was not like, it was always more than just a hobby. Just I knew that like I want to dedicate my life to it, and regardless like circumstances on the life, I will all the time do it, because like you can like see, I think the powerful thing about DJing that you can provide and guide people in different spaces. Maybe like if they're on the party or in the battle, they come, I know something happened at work, they're full of like brain full of this past event, but then like you can help them to get out of it and to bring them to the new space and for their mood to involve. So it's like also very powerful tool. Or like when like I know people listen to the mixes, like every song, maybe different person has different connection to the music, right? Like maybe some song remind you like of someone or some event, and you feel wow, like so warm, and you already like regardless what happened to your day, you feel good. So it's a big healing tool as well. I think DJing and music is
the power of music.
The power of music.
You mentioned a lot of men, I'm assuming, that really were your teachers and early influences. Who was around you that you saw who were women?
So it was, I did not unfortunately see so much women in DJing. Now I see more, which I'm very grateful. But I think the main person who changed a lot for me was when I was in China. I was spinning in this big big hip hop club, and we had like a big team, so it was like 5 people, and all of them were men except of me, which was good. Like they support a lot and help me, and exchange and stuff like that. But then our manager invite DJ Emmy from France. She's Red Bull Crystal winner, and that happened that I was spinning after her. And I was near her set, like when she was playing, and she's turntablism, so she can do like crazy stuff, like under your leg. And I was like, wow,
that's amazing.
Like when I saw her, I was just like, I think like her set, like 1 hour, I was just freezing. I could not believe, like it was absolutely outstanding. It was magical. I saw women do this, and she was rocking the crowd. She was like so confident, like wow. And then I was like, after her set, like excuse me,
oh no, you're like, I have to go up after this.
It's like, oh my god. But like then like we had like a great conversation with her after, like in the backstage. She said like a lot of women like nowadays just like more think, or like my makeup or my nail or something, which is great. Like everyone needs to take care about themselves, but I think it's like how society like just like formed us, and we need to overcome it, that in many years DJing was thought as a male profession, same as like photography, videography, right? Like now we are, at least in Ukraine, maybe in Canada it was like not like that, but now we are on the way to overcoming it, and more like women start to do it. And I think like for me, definitely her was like big inspiration. I start to follow her on Instagram, follow her journey, what she's doing, and like it's a big thing, like when organizers also invite people, they need to have like representation. And why? Not because like, I don't know. Of course, like we are all in the end human, and it does not matter who you are like as a gender. But for other women to see another woman who can they relate, it's a big thing. I know how big was it for me, because like I was like, whoa, like really, like women can actually like spin like that. This is crazy. I never saw this, but she made it happen. That it brought me confidence that I also can do this. And like it was totally life-changing for me. Even though like I saw many dope DJ by the time, we had dope team, but yeah, this particular experience was like, I still remember this feeling, like came home, was like, wow, like my heart was like beating and could not fall asleep.
That's amazing. And it's true though, like to see somebody who you can relate to doing a thing that you're aspirationally trying to do, it really does, like without even like blatantly saying, it has an impact on us to make us feel like, well, I could do that too. Or I'm inspired to do what you did, but in this kind of way, or, you know, take it to a different level or experiment with my own creativity.
Yeah, and she's also DJ. She's also she was I think more at that time dancing like breaking and house, and she was DJ Just the Boo, and just amazing. It's
cool. So she's also a street dancer.
Yeah. So she came from this background.
Okay. Yeah. Yo, shout outs to all the female street dancer DJs. Sandra Ice Misto, one of them.
Yeah.
Fly Lady Di, one of them. You're one of them. Who else? To me, those are like the ones that I know right now that are in Canada.
I know like that a lot of like upcoming generation, like more and more women start to DJ, which is who?
Oh, and Rita had their debut set at Hustle, and apparently it popped all the way off.
Yeah, nice.
The Hustle Social.
Shouting her name, like.
Oh,
that's great. Yeah. So more and more women start to do it. I'm very happy about this. I missed also. Actually, I met her 2 years ago in VSDF.
Street Dance Fest, for anyone who doesn't know.
It's a legendary event in Vancouver. And what impressed me, that like she knows like also about, not only about DJing, but also how to set up the sound, which is like totally different thing. Like people tend to mix like what is DJing, beat making, and sound setup. It's not three same things. Like not every DJ is beat maker. Not every beat maker is a DJ, and not like. Actually, DJ is not a sound engineer, so we know how to bring our stuff, set up our equipment, but like when it comes to like whole room, like of
treating
course,
the sound in the room,
in the big setup. Of course, like when it's like small venue, like everyone like DJ can do it, but like this year she set up for like we had like big team, 4 or 5 DJs with different equipment, with different programs. She was spinning as well. Coming at 8 a.m., setting up, make sure everyone sounds good. I was like, this is like, deserve applause. So, and much more, like, so she also breaks stereotype that like women is like, when it comes to sound setup, it's like, can't do it. Because
too many bros gatekeeping that one.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, I also experienced like it like a lot. Like when people like, you come to place, people never saw you. For instance, I'm also new in Canada, right? So they might think like, like some girl, like, okay, what she's doing. And I see it in their face, but like when you start to spin, it changes. But I think like people like Sandra, who actually taking this role, she makes like workshops about sound setup. I want to attend it as well. Make a big difference. And change this mentality. I think I love how we progressing into the future.
It's true. In my early days of organizing events and battles, like I had to learn from other DJs or from different artists, like what are their needs. So that's how I came to understand the equipment and the gear, is like really understanding what are everybody's needs. And like even though I'm not the one DJing or I'm not the one performing, it's like so important for organizers too to also educate yourself on like who are all the people involved and what do they need, and to find a good sound tech who won't talk down at you, who will also be willing to share information and teach, you know, because everyone's there to learn. Everyone's coming and accessing at a different point and place of, you know, your journey of learning. And yeah, I actually found that to be very helpful, and it's allowed me to support artists that I especially put on in my events, like, you know, getting them the things that they actually need so the event can just run smoother, and it builds a sense of trust and camaraderie, you know?
I wish every organizer would think like that. Yeah, sound tech and sound system, because like you bring the best DJ in the world and then you give him or her or them this small speaker, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, it's not enough. Like, it can't handle house music. Like, the sound just like come up, like not as rich. Like, so, like.
It does the music a disservice, does the artist a disservice, and the dancers as a result. Then, it's a ripple effect.
Yeah, and then all dancers are like, DJ need to set up. Yeah. But like, if I have like one speaker that's like really small, like that's the best I could do. Trust me. So sound system is very important, because like it's like you cooking a cake, you know, if you bought like freshest strawberries, but then like cream is like outdated. You know?
Girl, your metaphors are epic. It's like, what? Strawberries don't taste good if your cream's outdated, expired, fam.
Facts.
No way. I would love to talk about technology, actually, especially because, you know, I think we're around the same age. Like, we're in our 30s, yeah? And so when I grew up with my clubbing big bros and big sisters, and the DJ gear that I saw them using and what they learned on, you know, like at the time, and still, like, shout outs to Tech 12's techniques, and like learning and using Serato, you know, or even DJing vinyl. Like, that's a very different process to what a lot of newer DJs are learning on now, which are controllers, which have like auto sync, like, you know, like in terms of beat matching, you could use essentially AI technology to do that for you. Like, what was the gear that you first learned on?
Yeah. Actually, I learned from controller.
Which ones?
From Tractor S2, MK2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, because for me, like buying turntable, and I recommend everyone who start, learn from controller. You never know, like, if it's gonna be your thing, you know. You don't want like to waste 2,000 for turntable, and then at least 2,000. Yeah. And then say, no, I'm actually not my thing, and then you sell it for like 800 or something. Yeah. So I bought controller, started with this. It was a good start, and then I started to learn on like CDJs in turntables.
Like CDJs?
Yeah. So there is like 3 major, I would say, equipment. So first one is controller, basic. You can bring it with you. I still spin from controller sometimes if the venue does not have turntables. Just easy portable, right? CDJs, that the most like equipment you see in the clubs, where you plug in your USB and go crazy. Yeah. And then turntables, where you can spin a digital vinyl that is like basically empty time code that reads signal, and like you spin your files from the laptop, but it
needle
transform. Even needles now, not necessarily. We have phase DJ that is can be instead of needle. It's like much more stable, because needles are jumping a lot. Yeah, one time I was spinning an event in Sweden. We had like many breakers in front. It was exhibition battle, and they were like jumping like crazy. And I was like just praying my needle not gonna jump, because it was like a big venue. We had like 1 hour. It was like part of some so it was like a venue where people come and sit and watch it as a theater, you know, like a kind of exhibition battle. And I was like, wow, if my needle gonna jump now, I don't know. My breakers, get out. But technology involved a lot. I think it's great. I think it's great. Like now we can do so much. Even like
and you don't have to haul crates. Like, I mean, I remember seeing that of my big bros and big sisters being stoked that they're like, I don't have to bring just bring my laptop, just bring my hard drive, and I have thousands and thousands and thousands of songs, you know? So in that way, like, technology did make DJing easier, you know?
But also, like, if you look, what is the essence of DJing, like, is your music selection. Still, I see, like, even with the technology, you give like same song, 2 songs to different people, and they will mix it differently. They will choose different part. So for me, DJing is technical, but like also much more on the like soft skills of the DJing, which is like choosing your crates, really digging like for the music. Even in the song, like there is like, I don't know, house song. It's like 8 minutes. You're not gonna play 8 minutes, and you need to choose. The best part of it, especially for the battle. Like now we have battle, is like 30-second round. 30-second round, like, so you're not gonna waste this for the intro, right? Or for some breakdown. I mean, some DJs do, but it's their own.
Faux pas.
So, or like, what is going good together? Like what matches the room? Because like every song is good. I mean, not every song is good, but a lot of songs are good. It just depends, like, what time you're gonna play it. So you need to read the room. Like, I think reading the room, it's like this, like, magic skill. Because, like, when people are not ready, they come to venue, and then, like, I just came, I see some crazy beat is on my ears. I'm not ready, I'm not warm, I'm not in this mood, you know? I need something, more chill, warm up. And then, like, you bring the crowd up. You build the flow, but crowd can't stay up so long because everyone, especially in the clubs, like clubs needs to get money. If people gonna be so hype all the time, they're not gonna buy drinks. So you need to bring them down. It's a free tip for all the club. You need to bring them down so people go chill, buy drink, and other than bring it up. So it's like psychology, how to build the flow. I learned a lot of it when I was working the club in China. Before working the club, I was already spinning for battles in some like Sky Bar, but in Sky Bar it was like more background music. And then I came to the club, and first my set was like bad. I was like crying. I was like, whoa, like I'm really bad DJ, like, because I did not understood the surrounding. And then I went to the club, and 1 week I was just watching the club. I was staying there, like literally like for 4 hours, like watching the DJ, how they play, what they mix, how the crowd react, what's the setting of this particular place. So I think like understanding is like soft skills of DJing now, since like technology is so like came to the next level. Soft skills is like what technology can do for us. Technology can't observe the crowd. They can sing for you as many songs as you can. And like, I mean, sing like if you mix like 4 songs together, like it can help you as well, you know, like for some like like fast transitions, when you transition like in BPM dramatically, then it can help. But I think like really digging to music and expressing yourself, not just seeing like what other people do, because in the end it comes like about soft skills. Technology will never
replace that. Absolutely. I really I hold so much like I cherish the upbringing I had in my early 20s living in Toronto, and like being there amongst these DJs who really honored and preserved the art of turntablism, you know, and that's like mixing with their ears. and really exactly what you were saying, like building their crates over years, knowing their music, knowing the parts of the song, you know. And as I've seen technology and social media become more prevalent in how we socialize, in how we even know about parties, you know, I feel like I've really seen turntablism, arguably lack thereof sometimes, really evolve and shift. How would you say you've noticed that in the newer generations coming up? Like what has evolved and shifted?
How would I see?
Yeah, like the art of turntablism, how would you see through technology and social media that it's evolved and shifted? For better or for worse, you know?
I think it's not that popular now, turntablism. Which is like, turntablism is also like another, like if you're talking like a real turntablism, like tricks and crazy scratches, like, I mean, I think it's also depends on the music you play. Like in house music, you don't need that. Like, who wants to hear like scratches all the time when you're in house? Like, because like house is more about flow and vibe, and blend mixing is different type. But yeah, when it's like breaks or hip hop, yeah, I think now it's not like as popular now. Because like honestly, in controllers, like some controllers have motorized jog wheels, but I learned scratching in controller, and I need to relearn it in turntables. It was just not that's not it. Yeah, because like your range of motion is not the same. Yeah, everything not the same. Like you need to relearn it. So I think like since most people start with the controller, like yeah, and also records. I love records, but it's also very expensive now. So, for instance, like if we are talking about battle settings, like every record costs like at least $20. I mean, you can find cheaper records, but like if you want to play new school music, and then like you play, I don't know, 2 songs for like 2 rounds for 30 seconds, and like it's impossible in like our dance setting, I think, play from records. It's possible, but for a few battles. Otherwise, or if you are like super rich, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think that's so good that you made that differentiation, because now there are so many kinds of DJs, and that is separate from the art of turntablism.
Yeah.
And maybe that there are like a lot of younger generation who actually just don't know that, because I think what's exciting to them is like, and I think this is great, period, across the board, is like people can play the music that they like. That's also what inspires them to want to get into what we call now DJing, is like they're at a place and they're like, I want to be able to play the things that I like, that I think would really speak to this crowd. And so they're taking it upon themselves to go to Long and McQuaid or go to Best Buy and buy gear and start doing it themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and it is more accessible in terms of like what it costs to even get started.
Yeah. Yeah, more accessible, but yeah, but of course, like we still have like crazy turntablism, like Scratch Bested and DJ Coco from Japan. Like they are turntablists, they're performers, they come for 1 hour.
And music educators.
And music educators, so they come and do that thing for 1 hour, and it's like really performance. Yeah. So this is, but not every DJ is necessarily interested in doing this, because like scratching, like if you want to get, like you need like a lot of hours to stay and drill the scratch. It's like, they said like scratching is a sport, which I think it is a sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's needs a crazy amount of dedication, discipline, and yeah, if it's your thing, go crazy. But like there is also different types of DJ, and you can combine both. Yeah.
What do you want to see coming from, you know, what you learned from your mentors about the art of DJing? What do you want to see continue and pass on to the next generation that's important for them to maintain and preserve?
I think digging. Digging is a big thing. And digging. Like finding rare records, more respect for the music, for the records.
What do you mean by that? More
like,
respect for the records?
Because like you need to respect the music. Like it's not as easy, you know. Before, like finding music was not as easy. Now people just go and they're like, I Shazam all your library. I'm like, that's good. Yeah. But like, okay, go, do you Shazam, but like what you gonna gain from this? You not like, you gain my library that I played this set, but I hope you're gonna come and like dig the artist you Shazam, dig their records, like respect, because like when you are finding music, then it's not coming easy, you value it a lot. You are like, wow, like this is like this record that someone like mentioned, or I found it, and then like you put so much more into this than otherwise it just like becomes like fast food. Yeah, so I wish like more digging and more expressing themselves, and like really have like your signature, that like even like people don't see your face, they understand that, oh, it's like Kazi is spinning, because like the feel, this is like the vibe. But a lot of times I go to parties, like it's the same music, like that we heard over and over and over again. But then like what's the point? Because like DJ is educator as well. Need to bring like stay up to date. Need to bring new stuff. Need to bring old stuff. So I think like I hope we will get like more of these, more like signature tracks, more respect for the music. Yeah,
that's a good answer, and it's true, because as sound selector, your responsibility is to dig.
Yeah.
And educate us.
Yeah. Go crazy.
What are you excited about now that you're here in Vancity? Like, what are you excited to explore and get to know, or what are you excited to contribute?
I'm excited to know like the scene. I think I'm still learning about the scene. I know many people from the scene, but I want to see more of the dynamics of the scene. How are the people? How is the club culture here? Music culture. Yeah, because it's like in every country you go, like it's totally different. Like we are in the same like hip hop bubble, but it's like totally different from country to country. So now I'm just taking my time to understand the surrounding, to understand the people, what they want, and I'm just excited. I think like Vancouver is great. It's a great city. Like people are very friendly. Yeah.
And what are you excited to contribute other than, being able?
Like music wise, like I hope I could contribute for culture to develop, especially house. I think like house scene is not that big, but it's very sturdy and growing, and I hope like more and more female DJs start to DJ, and having the courage to step in. So I think like already some people ask me something about DJ, and I'm always answering this. So I hope I could help like with that, with expand the culture, and also help to bring more upcoming DJs, especially in the male-dominated space.
Yes. Especially you, like, you've lived in so many different places and traveled to so many places, and, you take pieces of where you go and it comes with you. And it's exciting that you're able to now share it, and especially share it here in Vancity.
Yeah, I totally agree with this. I think that's why it's important to bring also international DJ to the event, because every DJ has their culture history, right? Like some maybe music I played, I learned in China. Like it's not gonna be played here because like no one know it here, or like some are from Ukrainian producers, or like some, and it's like with every DJ, like they take like locally some stuff based on the experience they had and share it and bring, and that's how the exchange happening.
Oh, I can't believe this hour's almost up, Rita. Like we've talked a lot. It was great. I do have a little surprise for you, actually. Dun, 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 Sean.
Oh my God.
And it's coming out of the oven, but I did not bake it because I definitely do not have the mastery for any of this.
Oh, wow.
But there is a wonderful place here in Vancity called Kozaks. They are Ukrainian.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, do you know the name of this?
Yeah.
What is it?
Not of this, but of this. And
okay,
this.
yeah.
This is my childhood cake.
Yeah. What do we call it?
Like
starts with an M.
Medavik.
Yeah. Is that this one or this one?
This one is Medavik.
Medavik.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is like waffelny tort.
What? Waffelny tort?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy because this dude my mom like always like made, and always eat it a lot.
And this is a pistachio like kind of pastry croissant thing. Is that also a very Ukrainian thing?
Yeah. I think maybe more modern, but this is like really old school.
Yeah. And what are the ingredients? Do you know what's in this one?
So like this one, Medavik, it's like from honey, and actually like mud is like honey in Ukrainian, and it's like a honey and then some cake
layers.
Yeah. This is like we eat like every holiday basically.
And then this one is like a wafer kind of torte kind of thing.
Yeah, this is like easy made. You know, it's like for lazy people.
So on the display case, it said that this is like wafer with condensed milk.
Yeah, wafer with condensed milk, and yeah, like I think this one is famous because it's like easy make. You know, like if you want like something sweet and nice, it's always a go. You basically buy those waffles. I could not find them in Vancouver actually. I was looking, but like you buy these waffles and then you put in between the condensed milk, and then you can decorate it with nuts or coconut. With the coconut,
This one looks like it has caramel, and then it just sits and soaks.
Yeah, for like 1 day, and then.
We like when sugar marinates. Well, I want to say a big thank you to B-Girl Nat, as well as your partner, B-Boy Cape, who helped choose these, because I sent pictures when I went to Kozak's, and I was like, bro, which one do you think Rita will like? Does Rita even like sweets? Like, he's like, oh no, she likes sweets. And they both mentioned this is like the childhood cake.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna try it right now, and
let's go.
And I want you to be honest and judge Kozak's if they're doing it right, you know?
Let's go. I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
Wow, but this is crazy. I wanted to make this cake.
Yeah. It's sticky. Like
it's sticky. You need some like gym training and stuff.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I taste the wafer, but it's definitely been soaked in the condensed milk.
Yeah.
It's sticky, it's very sweet, it's delicious. Asian people love condensed milk too, by the way. We put that in our pastries a lot.
Oh, yeah?
Have you had it in coffee? Uh-oh. That is a drug.
Yeah.
I got really into making this mango float dessert in the summertime when I was in Toronto. It's very like Filipino, but with condensed milk mixed with whipped cream. And then I had all this leftover condensed milk. So I started having it in my coffee in the morning, and it was just like pure addiction.
Yeah.
So much sugar.
Actually, Nat, she gave me like a Vietnamese coffee set.
Oh.
And it's also like with the condensed milk, I'm like...
Yeah, dangerous.
Dangerous.
Okay, let's try the Medivik.
Medivik. Yeah,
Medivik.
wow. You're so good in languages.
I'm learning. I mean, you know, the Eastern European languages is all super foreign to me. I'm like, how do we pronounce the Y, the V, the X's, the... Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, man. Not too sweet. Soft, moist. The layers.
Yeah, it's actually exactly like in Ukraine.
In what context would you eat this pastry?
This one is like casual, everyday pastry. This one is for holiday. And this one, actually not sure. I think also everyday.
Is pistachios like a big thing in Ukraine?
No, not too much.
Yeah.
I think it's getting there, but like this one is more like new school cake.
We will have to go to Kozak sometime because they also do pierogies, cabbage rolls. They do vegan ones as well. I actually was trying to order some pierogies, like vegetarian pierogies to bring you, but they told me it was going to take a while to cook. So I was like, I'll just stick to pastries for now, especially knowing that these were your favorite.
Yeah, check out Kozak.
Do you have any gigs coming up? Anything that people in Vancity should know about? Or internationally, since you literally are always traveling and DJing places?
Yeah. So 15th of December, it's going to be house event.
Woo woo! Just announced today. Posted on socials. Shoutouts to Ghana, Momo, Rita.
Yeah. So it's brought up to you by Ghana and Momo. They are Ghana is house dancer and dancer, and Momo
Also
is
from Ukraine.
From Ukraine, yeah. That's actually crazy. I met her like 10 years ago when, or like 9 years ago, we went to some trip to Berlin together. It was like on the bus tour, and then like when I discovered,
Was that before she moved here to Canada?
Yeah. And then when I moved to Canada, I saw her on Instagram. I was like, wait, what? Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so 15th of December is going to be the house event. It's going to be party, workshops, battles. So come to join. if you are in Vancouver or not in Vancouver, come to join, and then I will be spinning. In February I'm planning to go to Mexico. There is Event Cube complex in Mexico City. It's an event for popping. I was invited to play there last year, could not come. This year I want to go. And 8th of March is going to be event Ladies Jam, which is part of Bougie Blog in Las Vegas, organized by Brandon Bougie Blog. So come to join as well.
So fun. And Rita's here now. So anyone throwing parties, want good quality music from somebody who really cares? Yeah, shout out to Casper. We are enjoying the food. Thank you for your suggestions, bro. Really appreciate it. And we will hit up Kozak's and have like a full-on savory meal, because I would love to hear your opinion on whether you rate their pierogies or not.
Okay.
You know? It was so funny because when I did earlier, I don't know if you remember this, but I had mentioned to you like, oh yeah, we originally wanted to shoot at Kozak's. And it's one of those things where you're like, oh, okay. And I was wondering, I'm like, trying to gauge, I'm like, oh, is she into that? Like, would she be into like sitting down and eating this food? But it would be the same if somebody who wasn't Filipino was like, there's this really good Filipino restaurant, I want to take you. And it's just like, yeah, I'll be the judge of that. You know? So I needed to make sure this was legit and that you got to have an actual taste of it and, you know, could judge whether it was legit or not.
Yeah, it's legit.
Yeah.
Legit.
Good job, Kozak. You're doing it. Well, our time is up, girl. I appreciate so much having this chat with you, having you on the show, being able to share your experiences as a DJ and how you came up. And, you know, it's really inspiring to have you as part of our community, as our worldwide street dance and music community. And yeah, keep doing what you do.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. Yeah, it was a pleasure to talk to you.
And I hope that in the future, there's also more conversations that you're going to be able to have that keep shedding a light on DJs and just their, you know, irreplaceable role. Because they are not just people in the background. They are not people that you pay late. They're not people that you consider as an afterthought. They really create the heart and soul of every event, whether it's the party or the battle, you know?
Yeah, DJ is definitely the main thing of the event.
Yes.
Yeah, because if the music is not good, your event not gonna be good.
Yeah. No vibe.
No vibe.
You don't want to be that guy, you know?
No. Yeah, but that's definitely a plan to bring more conversations about DJing. I've been thinking about it. And hopefully, you know, hopefully it will come through soon.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Follow Vancity Beats, Eats, and more.
Girl, you jumped too early. I haven't closed the show yet. Yo, shout outs to everybody who has been tuning in, who's watching the replay, for everyone who cares about Rita and knows that she's what's up. And yeah, we appreciate you so much. Feel free to follow at DJ Rita Spirit. Find her online. Find her SoundCloud, because those mixes I've already rinsed a couple times through. She has a lot of different vibes. Once again,
next mix coming next week.
Oh,
poppers.
Ooh, we like that. So big shout outs to DJ Rita Spirit for being here on the show. You have been watching Vancity Beats, Eats, and more.